Get it. Yo, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? Thank you guys so much for yesterday, man. We had a freaking ball yesterday. All right, so this is going to be part two of the Andrew Tate, Pearly Things, and Brittany Renner debate. That thing got pretty heated yesterday, but I will say this. It had a lot of really, really good information in it, man. I am loving reacting to this doggone video. But anyway, so we're going to give people enough time to come in, guys. We're going to give it about roughly about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll go ahead and get back into it, all right? I'll see you guys in 10 minutes. Yo, what up, what up, what up, guys? I don't. Yo, what up, what up, what up, guys? I don't. Yo. My fault, my fault. Gotta make sure the audio and everything sounds good. Everything looks like it's good. Okay. Yo, alright guys, we are back. This is part 2. If you guys didn't get a chance to tune in or whatnot earlier, this is part 2 of the Just Pearly Things Andrew Tate and Brittany Renner debate. There are a few other people that are tuning in to this thing or whatnot. One of the young ladies is she's calling herself Auntie something, and she is by far my favorite on the debate, man. She be hitting home with a lot of different things. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it, man. I don't know how long this big camera is gonna last. That thing tripping, man. It's a freaking very, very expensive camera, but it's been showing out lately. Hopefully we get that thing fixed. Y'all make sure if you're hearing any echoes, any lag or anything, let me know immediately and I will fix that. I'll fix that problem, all right? Without further ado, let's get into it. All right.
The best way to make money on Amazon.
They gonna hit me with a mother loving ad as soon as I started saying back. Really? Y'all some haters, man.
Come on, guy, he ticks boxes, you're like, I'm white feet, I got the Bentley, he does whatever he does, but my bills are paid. That's it.
When would you say it's too far?
I'm just curious if there's a line that you would, like if he spends money on enough.
Hold that thought. We got a lag. We got an echo. We about to fix that right mother freaking now. Give me 1 second. We gonna fix that right now, people. Boom. All right. We not having it this time. You hear me? We are not having it this time.
Another girl, if he, like, when does it...
Okay, that's a good question.
Another second question, do you think that men ever fall in love with side chicks?
Very good question. And this is a long and in-depth answer, but it's a good question. Let me put my clementine. But, no, but it's a good question. Where's two?
Hold on, right, man. Let me make sure. Let's try this one more time. Let's see.
Well, I think publicly disrespecting is too far.
We got it. Let's get it. That's it. We in there, man. Let's go. All full speed ahead.
So, like, you'll notice, let's take the Moscow G, all right? Let's take an oligarch, billionaire from Moscow. He has his wife. He has the girls he's in the club with. The girls he's in the club with wouldn't fucking dare message his wife. They wouldn't dare step out of line. Like, they know their place, right? So if there's a hierarchy and they know their place, that's one way of doing it. Spending money on a girl, certainly, yeah, because men show love primarily through our hard work. Not just through our resource, but through our hard work. You take a man who's not particularly rich, he shows his wife love by getting up every day, going to work, 9 to 5, working his ass off and paying those bills. That's how he shows love. That's why he does it for his wife and his children. Most men are out here working bullshit jobs, carrying trash. They're doing that to show love. So giving money, yeah, that would be a far more scary indicator than just sex. Let me give you all an example. I don't know if you all know my history, but I used to run a webcam business a long time ago. I don't want to talk about it, blah, blah, blah. But I had a bunch of girls who used to sit online and talk to guys, and they had laptops, right? This is a long time ago. And I used to sit and say to some of the webcam girls, I'd say, this man who is sitting in and logging in every night and sending you money every day and telling you he's obsessed with you from the other side of the world and missing out on time with his family to sit here and talk to you and send you money, that is more cheating than if he just went out and banged something. If he went out and banged something and came home, then done. But he's sitting here giving you his time, his money, his affection. That's cheating for a man. For a man to sit there and give money and time away, right?
Interesting.
So you have to stop this idea of sexual exclusivity. Yes, that's for females. That's how females show their love to men. It's not how high status, at least, males show their love to females. And anyone who wants to disagree with me, call me wrong, call me misogynist, whatever bullshit. Look at a history book. Every king, every sultan, every conqueror, every emperor, every knight, all of them had maidens, wives, all of that's history.
What level of cheat do you have to be allowed to cheat?
Well, it's not about even being allowed to cheat. I'm not even saying that. And it also depends on the partner you're with. I'm not trying to sit here and advocate for men to run around and fuck a bunch of women. I'm not saying that. No, but I'm not.
No. Let him explain. Let him land. It's about to go. Now, one sister, let him land.
No, but I'm not. What I'm actually trying to do is describe the baseline unfortunate realities of human dynamics. And I'm trying to explain now to the world that any woman can get a man who will not cheat on her if she's prepared to sacrifice a bunch of other things, perhaps, right? In the olden days, it was different. The world was a different place. It was a completely different place, and it was better. Now it's all fucked up. It's fucked.
So I'm not the smartest
Here we go again. They come up with the damn, what's the names, man? Come on, fam.
guy in the world.
Old girl over there, man. She just, that other chick, she is just so freaking extra. Just hush and let that man speak, bro. For real.
The high status men, most of them have struggled so hard to become high status. They've been through so much shit to get where they are. It's like telling him, if you climb this mountain, you can go to a candy store. And he climbs to the top of the mountain, and the second he's in the candy store, after one piece of candy, that bitch is saying, no more candy. He's like, no, I just climbed this mountain. I just got rich. I just went through X, Y, Z. I finally got here. I'm finally in the candy store. Now you're telling me I can only have one piece of candy?
Okay.
What man can I
Do you think that men owe a woman loyalty if she was there from the beginning?
Absolutely. They absolutely owe that woman loyalty.
Oh, sorry, sexual loyalty. That's what I meant.
Sexual exclusivity is different. Sexual exclusivity and loyalty are completely disconnected for males. Nobody wants to talk about this, but it's the unfortunate reality is true. I'm telling you, you can get a man, he can go on a holiday, you fuck some stripper, you come home, and you can lie detector test him. Do you love your wife? Would you die for your wife? Would you take a bullet for your wife? He'll pass the lie detector test. He loves her with all his heart. He'd do anything for her. It's just pussy. It's not a big deal. It's different.
I feel like, I guess my question would be then is like, how do you view sex? Because I like, sex at the end of the day is spiritual unification. I feel like I've gone through a lot of different stuff. I've had a lot of different experiences where I did not value myself, so I never had a man that valued me. So it's like, yeah, you rack up guys, and guys you shouldn't be texting back or whatever. But I feel like I understand that there is a difference with how men view sex.
Now listen to this. I want you guys to pay attention to how these other young ladies are speaking right now. I feel like she's speaking to hopefully try to get an understanding. You know what I mean? Instead of like those other chicks that feel like they just right.
Sex and how they
I may be
run
wrong.
the world. But it's like, sex is a sacred thing no matter a male or female is doing it. So that's why for me, like my biggest, like the hardest for me to understand is like, this is such a sacred thing, and it's just it's like taking a piss for a guy.
Can I just say something? You sure you weren't making love to somebody who was having sex?
I'm sorry?
You sure that you weren't making love to somebody that was just having sex?
Have I?
No, that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like as women, they make love to men that are just having sex.
Right.
That's the difference.
That's not the point.
But my thing is, okay.
I think when men hear that though, it's like if it was sacred to you, you would have waited till you were married.
But it's like
that's
right. No, I get that. But the reality is like the world is not so black and white. So I understand that there are these things in place that worked and made sense, and now we're approaching an era that like we don't know what's going to happen, but there's gray area. You've had sex, I've had sex, she's had sex, we've had sex with different guys. That doesn't mean that we're damaged goods, we're used goods. I understand status is a big part of that. I understand that sex is viewed differently, but I feel like you should not, if you're looking at face value, I can understand why you would be judged from your past. But if I'm
Men and women think so. I can kind of see the disconnection. I know, she's probably gonna take a little minute to try to explain herself, but I always see the disconnection from this because women don't understand how men think and how men operate when it comes to this particular subject. No matter how much you try to explain, break it down, or anything, it's still going to be a disconnection for them. My bad, y'all. I don't know what all right.
a guy interested in you, I don't care about what you've done.
But that's the thing. Like men do though. That's the thing. Like a virgin's more valuable to a man than a girl that's had sex with multiple men. Like, it just is what it is.
There's a limit.
But the modern man's solution is not a virgin. A modern man needs a partner, somebody that's actually smart and can survive in the world of today.
Wait. You heard what she just said? She's talking like a virgin is completely dumb. Has no sense at all. Like, bro, just because she's a virgin don't mean that she doesn't have intelligence. In fact, I think the argument can be made that maybe she's a lot more smarter than most of these other chicks out here because she sees a bigger picture.
And that's going to be
the men with the most choice are going to pick women that are more pure in general.
The ones already self-made, I guess so. But that's the thing. The reality is that there's a lot of men out there, especially in the world that we live in today, that need a partner. So it's time for those masses of men to start respecting women for the role they can play in their lives.
I don't think average men expect women to be virgins.
But it's this rhetoric that actually then is pumped into these minds and creates what people now complain about the misogynistic world. That's what it is. Even in schools, it's like
why is it misogynistic for men to prefer women that are more?
It's not that. That's not the problem. The problem is now. Listen, the max is.
There she go, boy, trying to back out that damn. Like, come on, man, you're not making any sense right now.
Very simple. You've got people like Andrew Tate talking about these things with such clarity, and it makes so much sense because it is true, right? And then you have men that are in these situations where just average, working an average job, and they cannot fulfill whatever definition is called to be a man.
Yes, they can, and that's what he said. He did say that. Yes, they can. A 9 to 5 man can do it.
But then again, wait. This is the thing. What we're talking about as a man, and this is why I say it's very important for us to understand the person that we're speaking to. And I'm very glad that you clarified everything that you mean. Not every man is like Andrew Tate. Not every man is going to be able to even realistically demand for certain things from a woman. So the same way women need to... Okay. With that being said, I'm gonna let her finish, but I can kind of see where she's going with this. Compromise if it comes to a man who is going to cheat on her because he's a top G. It's the same way men are going to have to compromise and stop blabbing about purity when they can't do that.
You didn't get none of what you didn't
I made my point. That was the whole point.
What point? Well, because you didn't quote it. You just said about his thing and you didn't.
No, only did I get clout. I made my point. I said the average man does not have what it takes to demand for a virgin or more.
He already said that.
And I reiterated my own words for my own content for my page and so what?
What it is, right? Is that too many women, they see regular guys and they feel they're settling. You're not settling. You're getting what you deserve.
But you can't be.
They don't want to hear that.
You're not settling. You're not settling.
But the difference is men know this. Like most average.
The difference is, this is the difference right here. I don't know what they're going to say. The difference is, here's the thing. Those women, most of these women, again, they are single. So they are looking for a man to hopefully, I don't know, I'm going to say this, most women that I've ran into, I've had a conversation with, they want to be married. And most of those women want a man to get down on one knee and propose to them and ask them for their hand in marriage or whatever. The man has to choose you.
The average men don't want the average men don't want to
Wait, the difference is average men know they don't deserve a 10. They know they don't deserve an 8. They know they don't even deserve a 7.
And they still go messaging them on the stories and all this dumb stuff. That's just ugly.
But they're not complaining though. They can message them all damn day. You don't respond. Oh well, I'm gonna try the doggone next one. That's how they operate, man. These men, most of these men in the world, average, below average guys, are not complaining. They're not.
Men in history haven't even reproduced. And so it's like men know, but the women are the ones that are delusional.
There's regular men out there. There's regular men out there.
Chris Hemsworth.
There's regular men out there that will have you down.
Yeah, but can I just say, people are watching Tate, not understanding that Tate is part of that 1% of and they think that they can demand the same thing. They can demand purity.
One second. Sorry. I understand the point you're all making, but let's understand something. To the sexual marketplace, females have always been, and still to a degree, are the gatekeepers. You could think about it in a very simplistic way. This is not the case, but let's simplify it for the sake of argument. Imagine men will run around and fuck anything, and women are the ones who say yes or no. You are the gatekeepers that have all the power. And this is what's actually truly interesting about the sexual marketplace, because whenever women go, there's not enough good men, then why you fucking, of course, why would they be good if you don't make them be good? You're a fucking loser. So women, so you're talking about, I'm saying that, you know, a man at a certain level can't do certain things. If you were with Joe Schmo and he wasn't treating you the way you believe Joe Schmo should treat you, then why you wouldn't?
Leave.
Like you women?
That is a great point and a great question. None of them is going to answer it, but they're going to continue to say that's a great point. Ain't nobody going to answer the doggone question. Why do you continue to give these type of guys that y'all look as low value, average guys, or whatever, regular smuggler Joe Smo, whatever they said, why do you continue to give them your time, your energy, your body, your womb? Why? Why don't you demand more? We're not going to answer that.
Women have the gatekeeping. So if you get Joe Schmo and he treats you like you're his queen, treats you perfect, good. If you get a fucking guy, the absolute upper echelons of value, and you still aren't happy with what he's giving you.
My bad, y'all. Hold on, wait. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping real quick. My bad, man. Let's go through some of these comments. My fault. I'm gonna try to keep up with this. My God, let's get it. Salute to my dog, man. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. Hey, I'm back. LOL. I got front row seats this time. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. The people news for tuning in. Appreciate you. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that, man. All right, Katie. What up? What's going on, Melanie? What up? Part 2. Yes, sir, baby Jack. You see it? We rocking. Shout me out. Hey, shout out to my dog, baby Jack, man. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you for tuning in, man. League. Hey everyone. Hey, what up, League? What's good? Thank you so much for tuning in. Miss These. Oh, trust and believe. There's gonna be a lot more to come. We're gonna keep these things rolling, man. We're gonna keep them rolling. I miss doing these things as well. There we go. A clever fish says modern women aren't family material. Freaking-lutely. Shout that from the top of the mother-loving mountains, man. 10 times out of 10, most of these doggone modern-day chicks, man, they for the streets. Facts. I just want to do a little housekeeping real quick, man. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's get back to the clip.
Women are the gatekeepers. You women actually have all.
Don't spend the
Come on, fam.
on Amazon.
They got me, dog.
Look, I love Amazon Prime.
I bet you do.
All of the power. This is what's beautiful about the whole thing. Yeah. Women are constantly complaining. You have all the power. You're the ones who get to choose. Do you know who you should be mad at for all this shit?
Yeah.
Who you should be mad at?
Yes,
you
sir.
know who threw away all the female power in the sexual marketplace? Promiscuous females. Because now you got chicks who will bang anybody without trying. So why should a dude get up and
No,
do you have any idea
Look, they don't want to hear the mother-loving truth, but look at her, upset. That just goes to show you who the guilty people in the room when they feel triggered. She been giving that little thing away.
Is to actually be. Let me make this clear. Do you have any idea how hard it is to actually be, no bullshit, a man? And I say this and women go, oh yeah, dude, that. As soon as most women encounter any kind of problem, the first thing they do is turn to a man. Their man, their dad, the mechanic, the police, a man. If you actually put a woman from a problem and go, no men, they're like, oh, whoa, fuck. It's a mental breakdown. Men,
most of them,
day after day, especially if you're a high-level man. Let me make something clear from my life. I'm talking from personal experience. I'm not just looking after me. I'm not just looking after my chick. I'm the guy in about 300 people's phone books that they call when anything big goes wrong. You get arrested in Russia, you need extraction from Ukraine, you need $1 million, whatever it is, Kazakhstan, abduction, they call me. I'm the first phone call. I'm fixing 400 different lives. I'm a problem solver. Chicks can't fix fucking any of this shit, right? This is how hard it is to be a man. And it's amazing because society expects it of you, but so do women. If you're a man, be honest. You're a man and you went to your man and said, oh, I've got this problem, I can't fix this, it's broken, the car tire's broken. And you went, I don't know. You would dry up, like, you'd be like, well, fucking, what the fucking point are you? That's the...
Yo, what the freak?
You could sit here and go, oh, we call a mechanic. No, you wouldn't. You'd look at your man and go, what do you mean you can't fix it?
I'll do it
And this is
myself,
what
waste man.
and this is what she's saying about your man will get up and go. And you know what's beautiful about masculinity? A bunch of times a man will go up and he doesn't have a clue how to fix it himself. But he'll go, don't worry, baby, okay. And he'll stand up with no money and no clue. And he'll go out there and fucking try and find a way, because as a man, you need to be useful. It is so difficult to be a man.
100% on the mother freaking button, man. You cannot make an excuse. We said this today at work, dog. A young lady can be at work and say something about her stomach is hurting, and everybody is going to run and make sure that she's good. Oh, give her a chair, she's all right. Let you be a man and say the exact same thing. Oh, my stomach is hurting. Well, you better get your together, player. You gotta work. We need you out there, dog.
And you have no idea the
No excuse is good enough when you're a man.
amount of pressure that we're under from society and from the women we even want to associate with. On a whole, it's difficult. So you have to keep all these things in mind. It's hard.
But can I question, you see what you just said about, the top G, that if that money you can fly planes and fly that. Drop it down to if you were earning, like, say, 50,000 a year.
Yeah.
Couldn't you be that same person amongst your peers?
Absolutely,
That's what I'm
absolutely,
trying to say.
absolutely. I'm glad she made that freaking point, because even an average earning guy still, for the most part, has to look out for the people that are around him. He's responsible for his sister, his mother, his children, or whatever, man. When all else fails, they go to their brother, their dad, their cousin, or whatever. Most of the time, the guy is the person that handles that tough We're not talking about the little stuff, man.
Pretty good. And also you have to...
Money doesn't make you a top G.
No, money is an amplifier. So that's the first thing about money. Money amplifies. Men can make money, money does not make men. If you're a dork and you get rich, you're a rich dork. If you're a G and you get rich, you're a top G. Right? So that's the first thing about money. And I agree with you. But traditionally, and this is the baseline, and once again, when I say these things, I'm not looking to be attacked for being misogynist. I'm just commenting on how I view the world and how I see things. Traditionally, a man primarily gives his attention to a female to get sex, and she gives him sex back to get the attention. That's the swap, right? So if I'm a dude and I want sex from a girl, I give her attention, I talk to her, I hang out with her, I spend time with her, eventually I get the sex. That's how it works.
Pretty much.
The higher value you are as a man, the more valuable your attention is, the more valuable your time is, the less you have to give. It's like potency, right? So I can give 5 minutes to a chick, and that's worth 2 weeks of some other dude's time. Let me
leave that alone.
But that's reality. So where you are on the scale is just basically how much of your time you have to give. Now, you can still give all your time to a woman, treat her like a queen, be respected by your peers. She can be happy with you. I'm not saying she will be in fact, I'll argue she'll be happier with that man than she'll be with a fucking guy like me. I'm not even out here saying I'll make chicks happy. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying that she'll get the amount of time that she's going to want from that man. The amount of attention is linked to his status. But at a true high-level status of man, it's 2 DMs. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds.
This kind of leads into my next question.
All right, guys, let's take a second to hear from our channel sponsor. Florida cops are searching for 2 young...
All right, we're just gonna pause it real quick right there, man. And I don't know how long this damn thing is, but he's making really, really great points, man. Damn it, he got it off there. Hot diggity dog. But you don't necessarily really hear that other chick chiming in as much right now. It's like she wants to try her best to argue, to disagree. But bottom line, it's like this, bottom line, all of them, honestly, they know he right. They know he right, man. No matter how much they try to argue or whatever, they know the bottom mother-loving line is that he's right. And the reason why I say that is because I always tell people, look at your results. Do you have the results that you honestly want in life? And you have a lot of people that will sit there and they will lie and say that they're happy, but they'll have like little episodes, like, you know, one of the young ladies on the panel or whatever, have little episodes, little breakdowns or whatever, and basically show you that they've been capping. They've been capping for attention. they've been capping for, some followers, money, or whatever the case may be. But the truth always comes out in the end. Never fails, man. It never freaking fails. Pearly, come on, man. Come on. You're trying to hurt me. Get on with this. Let's see. I really cannot zoom in, man. Pearly knew exactly what she was doing with this. I'm talking about she hit the nail on the head. She brought Andrew Tate, Brittany Renner, and then herself into this thing. Killing it, dog. Let's see what her subscriber count is at now. Did it go down? I thought she was at like 970 something. I might be tripping.
Man or Sarah High Value Man?
Well, look at society and you tell me.
Ask me.
Wait, so let's ask the single ladies. What would you prefer?
I would prefer someone who's monogamous. I left a situation where I got the Bentley, I had all that, I had the kids, I had that. That was great. I want a companion. I want real love. And to me, what monogamy means to me is someone who's committed to themselves. That's like, the answer is within you. And to be honest, I feel like, again, like the sex has been lost in translation and what it means. I don't care man or female. It's been lost as it's so sacred. So for me, I have kind of taken those blinders off where I'm like, okay, he has to be here. I'm okay with dating the trainer in Austin, Texas. That's just where I'm at. Like, I don't need a certain thing because I know what I'm wanting. Most guys in that percentage are not going to give me. So I would rather have a monogamous man than someone who can do whatever.
I'm curious though, right? She says all of that and it sounds great. It sounds beautiful. It sounds poetic. But I think a lot of people can put forth this argument. Brittany Renner is a very attractive young lady. In most cases, in most people's eyes. Especially when you start lowering your standards, when you start talking about what she just said, which is she would not mind taking a trainer that lives in Austin or whatever situation. Basically saying she does not mind being with the average earning guy. I'm pretty sure there are a lot, the majority, a lot of men, a lot of average men, average earning men, or just average guys, average looking guys that would take Brittany Renner. Respect her, love her, give her all of this attention, this time, and everything that she desires. Why the freak is really bothering me? Has she not got with one of those guys yet? It's like, it's not making sense. Because I'm pretty sure you got a lot of guys that's trying to holler at you. And she continues. I actually looked at another post. She was talking about she slept with, at the time, it was probably like a year ago, she had slept with like 8 different basketball players, NBA players. Why the freak are you still choosing to deal with those type of guys? And she may have stopped. But that right there, it just don't seem real to me, man. That just does not seem real. I don't know. I might be tripping.
So you think the personal trainer is going to be monogamous? They're like known for cheating, no?
Well, I mean, here's my thing. Like, I get it. Like, yeah. I don't generalize people because I'm one of the most misunderstood people online as well. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's a lot more to me, and I don't like to just put everyone in a box. I like to get to know people. So no, I'm not gonna just say, oh, well, of course he's gonna cheat on me. Like, no.
Okay. Would you take a guy that makes $35,000 a year and had a dad bod?
Had a dad bod?
Yeah, dad bod.
I feel like for me, I would want someone who.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I pour into myself, and I'm accountable for my shit. I'm aware of what I got going on. I'm not gonna have a mom bod. I'm in the gym. I had a baby a year and a half ago. I'm in the gym 4 to 5 times a week. So I would want someone who can match at least the work ethic. Now, when it comes to money, I know for me, I want to be able to. I do not want to rely on a man. I have literally done that before. It didn't pan out in my favor, okay? Because what happens is you get the rug ripped from under you, and then now you fucking get out, bitch. Give me the motherfucking keys. It isn't that. So for me, the lifestyle I want, I am responsible for. So I don't look for a man to make X amount of dollars because anything that I want, I'm gonna get myself.
Well, because in my head, I feel like a guy's just as likely to cheat if he's in the top 20% of like looks. He's just as likely as
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying? Like it just doesn't.
Let me ask a quick question, just so I can clarify something, because I understand your points. You're saying you want a partner, a life partner. Are you sure? And I'm not accusing, I'm genuinely asking. Are you sure you're not confusing the amount of time the man spends with you with his monogamy? Because they're different things. Because what happens a lot of the time, if a man's out here chasing chicks, he's barely home. But imagine you had a man who was home 7 nights a week. He was always home. I'm talking about like an hour, like during his work lunch, you're gonna notice.
Holy
Then
shit.
would you even give a shit about monogamy if you had all of his time effectively? Would you really care?
I still would care because I feel like that's still just an hour a day, and it's not really quality time. I feel I really have been in so many different situations. Again, the trainer in Austin to the NBA player baby daddy. Like
Oh, so this was actually a situation. That's why I was like, that's damn.
I have seen all of that stuff, and it's just my personal experience and perspective to where I want someone that sees the value in the Grand Canyon. I want somebody who.
I understand. Okay,
like,
so that's a good point, and so just that's the first question I'm gonna ask. The second.
Okay.
You got to stop them, man. 'Cause they will keep going, boy, and I just need for you to answer the question so we can move on.
The realization you've come to is an interesting one. It is something that happens, especially to females as they mature. Don't you think it's strange, or why do you think that 0 women on Earth choose those kind of men who they perhaps have slightly lower status, but are more likely to be loyal to them, be monogamous, etc. In the modern world, because like I said, the world's changed. Why do you think 0 women choose them when they're at the peak of their choices? So when
God! Oh, yes, man. Yes, that is an excellent mother-loving. When you at the peak, when everything is going good for you, why don't you choose those type of men then? Why do you wait after you've had a child or two, you've gotten older, more men have used you, and now, after it's all said and done, after you done went through all that, you got all that extra mileage and stuff on you, now you feel like you need to get with one of those guys. Why should those guys even...
a woman is 19 and she can go anywhere she wants, every man wants her, she can go on any yacht in Miami, she can get flown out to Dubai, when she has all the choices in the world. Why is she completely uninterested in those kind of men? And then when she gets to a certain age of maturity and there's a whole new generation of girls who have all the choices, and then they sit there and go, you know what? I deserve monogamy and da-da, and they all of a sudden want to grow up and mature. Why does no woman decide that when she actually is at her most valuable?
I feel like like I said,
I think she's gonna answer this question honestly. I haven't seen it. I hope she's gonna answer this question honestly, because I want to know.
I don't like to speak for all women, I just speak for myself, but I know for me that I was looking for a man for a lifestyle, something that I was not able to do individually by myself. So that's why it's like, well, yeah, I want to be able to do this, do that. I want to go for the football player that was just on GQ. And in reality now I realize, well, okay, there's a lot that comes with that. I can make my own money. I don't necessarily need that type of guy for the happiness that I'm looking for. Again, seeing value in the Grand Canyon is a lot different than like, okay, here's money for this, here's allowance for that.
And
here's an hour of my time.
because you're asking what
I respect. I feel like she answered the question honestly. I really do feel like that. I might be tripping, but I honestly feel like she did.
by a man that is 20, 21, 23 is not a top G like a 30, 40-year-old man.
Well, no, the point-
You're a
Who cares, man? She missed the freaking point. Just hush, man. Hush. And then look at her, man. Who is this lady? Because JustPearlyThings didn't even put her name up there. Like your name wasn't even in the title, man.
age actually dictates your sort of maturity to a large extent.
Well, I'm arguing the point. The point I'm trying to make is that what I actually think happens, especially in the modern world, because the modern world's all fucked up and nothing's the way it's supposed to be. The traditional life path of a female is she's 17, she's 18, she's 19, and her value is massively inflated. And I don't blame her. Of course it's massively inflated. Imagine being 19 years old, have achieved exactly fucking zero in your life, knowing nothing. You put makeup on, and sports stars, billionaires, actors, the most important famous people on the planet, the richest men on the planet are begging for your attention. The ego you're going to develop, let's all be honest, right? The ego you're developing is going to be monumental. I'm special, I'm so gorgeous, all this.
There's one thing you need
Man,
to do.
yeah, hey,
Before you buy anything,
your boy cooking with fish grease right now. Come on, man.
Watch
Come
this
on.
work. It's bullshit, right? And then what happens as they grow older, as new generations come along, because the truth is most women are at their peak attraction, let's say in their early 20s. As they grow older, what women become is far more fearful of competition. This is why you'll see a woman who's a bit older go, oh, you know, I really want monogamy. What she's scared of is her dude getting a 21-year-old. That's what...
God, so my look at old girl. You can tell she is uncomfortable, and it's so crazy. It's so crazy to me, man. If you look at Brittany Renner's, her energy now is a little bit different. You know, when she was rolling her eyes and all that other stuff, now she seems like she's a little bit more attentive and she's paying attention, and it seems like she may be learning something. I actually seen a post. She actually said that she learned a lot from listening to Andrew Tate. But she actually seems like she's taking this information and she's really going to use this thing. Hopefully.
But she's fucking scared of. She may not know it, she may not say it, but basically that's what the truth is, because she knows a 24-1-year-old is going to be more desirable, higher status, more fertile. That's what she's scared of.
Cheating is bad when you're 30 or 20, sir.
So no, it's not about that. I'm telling you, the shift in the female mentality, because when a female is 20, she doesn't give a fuck about any of this. She doesn't want to find a nice man. Now she's trying to, like you're saying, chasing a lifestyle, chasing Mr. Promiscuous, chasing Mr. Famous. Doesn't give a shit until she starts getting scared. Oh shit. My age begins with 3 now. And then they change, the mentality changes. It's a fear element. That's the reality. And it's a biological fear element. I'll give you an example of it.
She's talking about can I answer? This ain't no question, young lady. Calm down.
You know what's amazing about humans? We are still very primal. When men like these two and me, when we walk through the mall, people just move. It's like you can sense when the big animals turn up, right? It's something amazing about humans. If you have a very attractive 45-year-old woman, she's gorgeous, but a gorgeous 19-year-old walks in, look at that 45-year-old woman's face. She's furious. She fucking hates her. She just doesn't like her for no reason. Yeah. Because women understand, unfortunately, but your age is a massive indicator of your value. In an inverse way to men, men are more valuable as we get older. Every woman knows that. Every woman will sit here and go, yeah, well, I know a man is older than me. Of course. But if I say it the other way around, I'm misogynistic. It's just the reality of the world. So then we have to go to the other point. The point is this. When you were at your peak value, you had zero interest in monogamy. But then you find a man who's 35, at his peak value, he's finally struggled and worked, because when he was 19, no girl spoke to him. When he was 23, he was broke. When he was 24, he had no life experience. When he was 25, he couldn't fuck. When he was 20, whatever. He finally gets to the point where he's now at his peak value. He at 35 is you when you were 19. And then you're sitting there saying to him, no, you should be monogamous. It's like, well, you fucking were. You did whatever you wanted in your peak. Now I'm finally...
Man, hey, God, dog. Man, should we finish the rest of this? This dude cooking too much, man, for real. He's throwing too many doggone bricks at him, man. God.
And I had to work for my shit. God gave you. God and L'Oreal gave you. I had to fucking struggle. I had to go through hell to get on this yacht. You go on the yacht with an Instagram DM. I had to buy it. Damn. And now you're telling me I need to fucking settle down and behave and grow up? Fuck you.
Because
it's bullshit.
You're assuming that the journey is a man that starts with nothing to something, because there's a lot of men
that is exactly the journey of every man on earth. We are born without value.
So there's specificity in that. Because that's not how it should be for everybody. That's not how it is for everybody. And not for every woman either, so may I just say.
Can I ask Brittany something? You know, like then you've learned in the past, and now you want to find someone to settle down. With hindsight now, would you have reversed it and like started young, looking for someone to settle down with, looking for those values that...
That's a good question.
Now you know. I'm talking that with hindsight.
Okay, well, I actually, from 18 to 22, I was in a relationship. I've always actually been a lover girl, despite what I put out online for,
I've seen you online.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, that's even better. I have always wanted one person, and I feel like I was so delusional in thinking...
You know what? When I think about it, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to ponder on that. I'm gonna say from her story, it does seem like it kind of matches up a little bit. It really does. That's crazy.
That, I'm like you said, like I have value, I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm at my peak. Like, why wouldn't you want to be with me? So going into these relationships, or just just people, my goal was always to get commitment. Like, I'm giving you my time, I'm pouring into you because I want commitment. And the reality is I never really understood my value. So I was going through guys, giving up sex, doing this, and it didn't make sense. So I believe in, like, I stand on everything I do. Like, I don't do apology tours. It is what it is. And I think that's where I feel like when they talk about women being delusional and all these other things, it is true. Because what you have to understand is that there are repercussions to your decisions, which is fine. So then you're talking about, okay, well, I want this type of guy, I want this, that, and that. You're talking about maybe monogamy. That's 3 to 5% of animals are monogamous. I think that's what it is, right? So your window is really, really small for what you're looking for. And even to go on to the point you said where you were talking about it's like a subconscious fear, I think it's like for me, I feel like if it was more of a fear, I would have just stayed in my situation. Like, it wouldn't have made sense. Like, I mean, that was my first kid. I thought I waited and did it, right? I left because I believe that there's something else on my heart when it comes to love, and I'm just going to have to trust that. And if that means being alone, having a dog, I have to take that chance because the Bentley, the ring, the house, and still getting, again, deceived, right? Disrespected, because deceit is disrespect, right? So I cannot settle for that. I can't suck a dick and shut up. And that is where a lot of people don't like my views and what I represent because it is something new. I don't know how it's going to fucking end. I don't know what's going to happen.
What would you tell your 17 if you had to like...
She has some really, really good questions, man.
What would you tell your 17-year-old self, knowing what you know now? Looking back and you had to meet yourself at 17, what would you tell yourself? Like, lock it down and wait for the right man, don't have sex. What would you tell your 17-year-old self?
God, hey, auntie on it.
That the answers aren't outside of you, because I feel like I'd always look for men to answer all of my questions that I've ever had. I thought when I had a man, it would complete me, and I feel like too, especially with like my dad not being in my life, you look for somebody to guide me. Like, so that's where for me, I put too much value in someone else having the answers for me. So that's why I'm really big on accountability. So I just tell myself like to be patient, to take your time, because I was always quick. Oh, let's try to get in a relationship. Like, we weren't even compatible. There's a lot of just not compatible factors. So I feel like for me it would be to slow down and to really get to know people instead of just blindly banking on potential that most likely will never be tapped into or self.
Okay, so now she's really, I think at first it was kind of a little dark, but now I think she's basically saying she should have slowed down and really paid attention and honestly got to know somebody and see what their principles, their morals, their values, and all those other things, that who that person is at the core, instead of just looking at this is a basketball player, this is a football player, he could potentially, take care of me and all these other things. It goes back to that, that accountability thing that she was speaking about. If you honestly pay attention to those things, who a person is at their core, really pay attention to not only the things that they say, but how they're moving, then I think she would have made a better choice in hopefully finding that guy to settle down with, which was 9 times out of 10 probably wasn't going to be, a guy that's probably in the NFL or NBA or whatever. But again,
This could be the best that I could get. I might as well just shut up and suck it in.
And that's what I meant about women nowadays, because exactly what you'd be telling your 17-year-old self is what happened back in the day. So when I'm repeating these things, I went, oh, you're old-fashioned. But it seems like women do what they like, and then they hit a certain age and say, oh, well, I've got to settle. But it's not settling. You're just getting whatever you can. Or whatever you deserve.
You know what?
Because if you think back now, you'd be telling people now, rather than say that auntie's old-fashioned or auntie don't know what she's talking about, look what she'd be telling her 17-year-old self, which ain't nothing that I already said.
Wow.
Because really and truly,
that's interesting, bro.
Let me finish. Because what I've always said, and you can check, I'm an older version of you. So where you've been, I've already been and I've come back. So that's why I asked you, what would you tell your 17-year-old self? Because me telling you is, I'm telling my 30-year-old self. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So it's not that I'm old-fashioned, it's just that women hit a certain age and then realise, oh my God, it wasn't that old-fashioned.
Damn.
It works. Because
Holy
it does.
shit.
But there's no point in waiting till you're a certain age to start thinking about it. Even if you're like, you hold your own accountability. So it's like if you meet somebody and they were like 17, 18 and you saw them acting a certain way, they ask you for advice, you won't say do as I do, you say this is what happened to me. And this is what I thought, and what I recommend you do is blah, blah, blah. Am I right or am I wrong? And no, I ask you for your advice.
No, I totally get what you're saying. No, I totally agree with that.
That, man, yo, she just got I love it. She's a little animated or whatever in the beginning, but she made a very, very valid point, man. I'm over here tripping.
I think that no matter what you decide to do, you have to accept whatever repercussions come behind that. So any advice that I give to anybody is do what you want, but just know there are repercussions, good, bad, or indifferent, that are going to come behind it. So, and I think that's just where I'm at. I don't even think it's like an age thing. I think it's like, in reality, I have a son, and you really start asking yourself questions. And again, I think that it took having a child to really look into my life and call myself out on my bullshit.
So if you got pregnant earlier, if you got pregnant at 18, 19, would it have?
I was always on birth control. I was on birth control for a decade. I got off birth control because the person I was with wanted to have a baby.
Okay.
So again, I thought I did it right. Clearly not, because I wasn't married. But it still didn't work out because it just wasn't my guy. So that's where I just think, like, even if I still would have taken it slow, there just were a lot of people that just were genuinely not my person, and that's okay.
I would just speaking of marriage, I wanted to know, do you think we're in a post?
I don't know, man. I wouldn't say that's okay, man. Like, sleeping with all those different people, I don't think that's okay. Not for a woman.
Marriage society.
All right, before they answer this question, y'all, we're going to do about maybe 9 more minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and get up out of here because I got some other stuff that I got to take care of before it gets too late. All right, so, yeah.
Because on one hand, we hear that women should wait till they're married to have sex, but at the same time, we also hear from the men that they don't want.
Head instead of your heart, and you look at the advantages of getting married, there are absolutely not really none. Because this new idea of new age feminism. Facts, man. And the way that everything is going right now, most guys are just choosing to opt out and just say, yo, I'm good on that. And honestly, until, things change drastically, I think that most guys are going to continue just to be with the I'm good, fam. Just basically destroys all men in the idea, in the event of her leaving. And it's very common that women leave, right? Let's stop the man versus woman attack, etc., etc. Life's difficult for everybody. We all have different challenges, different things to go through. But if a woman marries a man and it goes wrong, she has emotional heartbreak, fine. But if a man marries a woman and it goes wrong, he has emotional heartbreak. Plus, everything he has ever worked for is ripped out from underneath him, and he has to give that chick money forever.
In some places, you don't even have to be married.
Exactly.
That's why the men don't want to live with the women either.
That's right. So when you make these rules and these laws, right, under the guise of feminism and equality, all this garbage, all you're doing is scaring men away from commitment. And then you have to add in the other hidden element. And the other hidden element is what I said earlier, is whose fault a lot this is promiscuous women, right? So in society's broken down. If women were saying, if all women got together and said, we'll only have sex after marriage, guess what men would do? Get married. But you don't. Right? So now you're in Miami. I go to Miami. I can fuck anything in the club. I don't have to marry any of them. If I marry them, I get wrecked. So, let's all use our brains here. What am I going to do? Well, I'm going to be like, well, no. Bounce. See ya. No. So men have been scared away from the idea of marriage. And that's, a lot of that is the fault of this new bullshit law and this new feminism and this new crap. They don't give men any tactical advantage. And I'm talking about small things. A man's not even allowed to be a man in his own house. Do you know in England you will get accused of emotional abuse? I can marry a woman, not lay a hand on her. I can just raise my voice at her. That's emotional abuse. I can raise my voice at her because she's going out drinking with dudes. She can go out drinking 6 nights a week with men. And I can say, what the fuck, you're my wife, sit down. She can call the cops, call me emotionally abusive. I get arrested now. Now there's a court case against me. I have to go to court and defend myself. She'll divorce me, take my house. I have to sell my car because she's drinking vodka with fucking God knows who. But you know.
Wow. What the hell, bro? That's crazy.
It's that early on.
What do you think of child support?
And that's another interesting thing because a lot of these arguments, it goes beyond man and woman and it goes into the larger sphere as a whole, right? Because we talked earlier about war and how a lot of men used to die and that doesn't happen anymore. So what you used to have in societies, and I'm not saying I have all the answers, I'm just commenting, right? What you used to have in societies is a bunch of men would die at war because men have more dangerous lives than women. There'd be a bunch more women than men. The top G's would impregnate a bunch of women and the top G's could take care of the women and that be it, et cetera, et cetera. That's now changed, right? So a lot of the reason that monogamy is pushed is because it's good for society. And it is good for society. It's good for society as a whole to have a man, a woman, a family, they're together, the man provides for the woman, etc. The government doesn't want to pay for all these kids. If you don't have child support, who's paying for these kids? The government does it. It breaks down, right? So that's why child support is enforced in many parts of the world. In certain other parts of the world, child support isn't enforced because they have religious beliefs or genuine family beliefs that keep the families together. But in the Western world, now you need child support because you've broken things down to the point where men don't want to be married to chicks. Chicks don't want to listen to the man. The man can't even be the man in his own household. He can't even feel respected where he goes. His woman gives him no status. And now he doesn't want to fucking deal with her anymore. So how do you get that kid paid for? Well, then tell the man or you go to jail.
A house?
Wow.
Or a laptop? Which one do you think is worth more? Well, definitely not the house, because they're not...
That's crazy, bro.
You just come along with the fucking long arm of the law and you fuck him. And so, yeah, it's difficult. It's hard to answer. Yeah, but it's hard to answer. The true answer to all of it is an idealistic answer. I don't like to think idealistically and talk idealistically, but it's the truth. The true answer to it is to instill in the man a sense of duty in which he wants to take care of his woman regardless, because that's his child. But you will do that. I'll tell you how you do that. You do that by inspiring out of the man by being a very good woman. So I'll give you an example. If I had a child with a woman, and she was always a great woman to me. She never cheated on me. She was a good woman to me. And I was running around being whatever. And she's like, look, I just can't put up with you anymore. You're top G. You're going to do what you're going to do. I'm going to look after your kid. You can see him anytime you want. I care about you. Please don't leave me in poverty.
God, dog. Oh, we clipping that. I don't give a damn. We are clipping that right there. We're going to clip that.
I'd say, cool. 100%. I'm not a fucking dickhead.
Cool, that's a real man, though, because I was in a situation
She's talking about that's a real man. I think that could be a lot more men if women chose to do that. I'm telling you, man.
I was just in a situation like that to where it's like hearts don't break even, and that's the reality too. It's like if those morals and principles are not instilled in a man, none of that shit matters. So obviously the child support stuff obviously hits close home to me because I'm already $50,000 just in lawyer fees trying to get him to provide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it sucks because it's like you play in the NBA, like why don't you want to do more? And it's just because, again, of the relationship. It's personal. It's not about our son.
Personal. That's right.
So it's like, yeah, if you're not...
So I just feel like it's like, why do you get money for making a poor choice?
Well, it wasn't a poor choice because it took two.
I'm not trying to, like, disrespect you in any way. It's just like, if you love. And
no,
so it's
yeah,
like, why do you get money for it? It just
right,
doesn't make
because
sense.
we made a commitment.
That's
So we made at the end of the day, we made a commitment. We have a forever commitment. Fuck marriage. We are forever family. So again, as someone who is literally going through this, if I made more money than him, I would be paying him child support, and that would be fair to me.
But this is what's really interesting. What's truly interesting is if you go to other countries, and I'm talking about civilized countries, right? If you go to Poland or Czech Republic or whatever, these countries, which are in many metrics more civilized than the West, they're safer to live in, they're cleaner, etc. There's no child support laws. So if you have a divorce, the man just takes care of the woman because that's his kid, and that's just what he's supposed to do, and that's just it. So what you're saying is, you're right about the man having the morality instilled inside of them, and my point is that the reason a lot of this doesn't exist, the reason men don't have morality installed in them, is not just about the individual case of the man. It's about society as a whole. It's about women as a whole, men as a whole, the dating game as a whole, the life he's living as a whole. And this is the world we live in. This is why I was talking about how dangerous new think is, because now we have this new think, this new world, and we're living in this new world. And the truth is, as a man, now the game has changed. In the game of chess,
I ain't gonna count. We're almost there, man. We're almost there. I'm just letting them cook right now.
sometimes it's not about winning. It's about making sure you don't lose. If you cannot lose, you cannot blunder any pieces and protect your king long enough, you'll win the game. And there's a lot of men who are now like, okay, how do I not lose? Well, you know what? I become fucking ruthless. That's...
If she would have paid close attention, let's just say this, right? Let's just say if Brittany Renner would have listened, you know, I'm gonna try to save.
I get all my sex because the women are promiscuous. I get laid as much as I want. I don't let anyone fucking tie me into anything dumb. Any bitch wants to get fresh to me or fucking talk to another dude, I cut her off financially. And you just get ruthless so you don't lose the game. But that's because the game's been rigged against men. So the harder you rig the game against us, the more ruthless we're going to have to be to compete. And that's, it's unfortunate. I'm not saying I have the answers. I'm just saying why they do what they do.
Say with regards to Brittany, I just think that with regards to child support, you've got a kid, you look after him.
Hey, and I do.
No, you the men.
Oh, I was like, I do look after my son.
No,
okay, I was like,
that's why I said No, that's what I said with regards to the
Okay.
child support. That's what I first said. I think that you have a kid that you should look after it. I don't agree that
But
I
it's
don't
not.
agree with men giving the women money, but I think it's disgusting that a man can have a child and not support him.
So do I, but this is another thing. So this is the comments we have to make, right? Because we don't have all the answers, we have to make the comments on it. This goes into the deeper point. Every time a court rules in favor of a chick having $100,000 a month, that puts men off to a level. Like, it's fine if there was a baseline child support, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. That's if you have a kid, baseline, regardless of income. If your man wants to give you more, he does. If he doesn't, whatever. But when you come along and start saying this percent of a man's income, do you have any idea how scary that is to a man who works for his money? He works for his money. And you know why it's scary? It's not just because he's giving his money away. It's because he knows he isn't giving money to the kid.
Yeah.
The kid, you can raise a kid on $500 a month in most of the world. You want that kid in Gucci, you in Gucci, you in a nice car, going on dates with another dude with my money. I'd rather burn the fucking house down than give it to you on the rest.
Oh shit. Wait.
I just think it incentivizes poor decisions. Like I haven't gotten pregnant by someone, but I'm saying, but like you're gonna pay someone who's done that. Like why do they get?
No, but I'm literally telling you that if I made more money than him, I would have no problem paying for my child. And there's child support laws vary in different states. So in North Carolina, for instance, if you make over $300,000 a year, then you are considered off the grid. So then you have to prove this is how much your rent is. Any bill that my son occupies, I get a percentage of. So on the low end, it would be 50%. If there's a big enough salary gap, it could be up to 97%. In the court, the judge gets to decide what makes the most sense. So if my child's father makes $20 million a year from basketball, he gets to decide if $6,000 is a lot, if $8,000 or $10,000, whatever. But you have to prove that. So it's not like you just it's enough money for a Chanel bag. Like my son watches Peppa Pig. That's a cable bill. You know what I mean? So it's a percentage of everything. So you're not like just living it up. You're just living. So you're able to. There's a roof over your son's head.
My whole point is that like it's all down to choices. And
the man made a choice too because I can't get pregnant unless he nuts in me.
I understand that, but I'm
then there's nothing to argue. You're
the one that's you're in control of who gets born. Abortion's legal.
Okay,
as soon as he nuts, it's completely out of his control.
Listen.
Can I just say something though?
Wait,
just
Auntie,
playing devil's advocate that I had my child and we ended up went together, and I didn't take a penny from it, and the government wanted me to, but I decided that no, it was better off that my child I look after him myself. Anything he wants to give his son if he wanted to was extra, but I worked hard and I done it all on my own because it was just less because it's less headache. It's less headache.
And I know a lot of women that went that route.
It's not fair though that you have to think that he's not going to be a man and take care of his child. Don't you think that's unfair on you?
No, because my child and he's happy. Now
But
give
that's
him what he
your
wants.
child as well. He made that child.
That's why I don't need a man
But the whole
that's
point
you
is
know.
you choose who you sleep with.
Listen, right, as far as
Yeah, but he chooses as well. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Like,
this is it's to a tango. What are we
But
talking about?
I'm saying right now it's not fair because women have abortion. That's legal. It's not legal for them. They get no say. They get no say, and it's the same thing with birth
I mean, I
control.
could have done, but it wasn't worth my time.
You can get
Why am I going to fight a man?
IUD.
Yeah,
It's like 99.
But what if the man wanted the child though?
That's exactly my point. So I was on birth. Let's use me as an example.
My whole point, I think he should. I think he should take care of it. I just don't agree with having legal incentives for women to leave. That's my point. He should give you money for the kid. If you have a kid, you should, but I just don't agree with
See, but the thing is, if men stood up and became fathers to their children, women wouldn't have
But if women, we're in control of who we sleep with.
All right, I'm gonna try to stop it right there, man. They went into a whole nother point, but let's just say, for instance, back to my point, right? Let's just say this, right? Because if you listen to what Andrew Tate was saying about men just choosing to burn the freaking house down, you know, if things go sour. So Brittany Renner, she felt like in her situation that, you know, if he can't remain faithful, then I'm no longer going to be here with you. Okay. All right. So the dude probably was feeling some type of way, right? And on top of that, Brittany Renner on social media is openly talking about sleeping with other NBA players, giving that thing away. You know, openly talking about using guys for their money or are using, you know, I forgot what there was. I want to say it was on, I want to say her and Fresh and Fit had sat down and they were having a conversation or something like that. But there's been times where it seems like, I'll go back and I'll make sure I do my research, but it seemed like she was bragging about what she had done about, you know, having a child with someone and quote unquote kind of like getting over on them. You know what I mean? Set for life or whatever. The ideal gold digger, which a lot of people has labeled her as. Again, I don't think I did enough research to really say that I fully believe all of those things because I want to make sure that it comes out of her mouth. But just based on some of the things that I've seen on social media and all that other stuff, we'll just go ahead and just go with that, right? So she's openly talking about sleeping with these other guys, using guys for their money and all that other stuff. In that guy's eyes, he's probably thinking, I'm about to burn the house down. You're not getting I'm not giving you a mother-loving thing. You ain't getting nothing because you're going to be using that doggone money to get your hair done, your nails done, your makeup done, blah, 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 blah. Fly around and go see other guys. Because again, she's already talking about sleeping and giving that thing away to other guys any doggone way, right? So, just say for instance, if she would have maybe took Andrew Tate's advice before all of this, do you believe if she would have came to him after having that child, it was just like, yo, listen, you know, we're not seeing eye to eye right now. You know, when I got with you, I wanted to make this work. I wanted to be the only woman, blah, 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 blah. I don't think we can do that. I don't want to be left, you know what I'm saying, in poverty and all this other stuff. If you could just take care of your son or whatever, you know, that would be cool. No pressure, none of that, blah, blah, blah. I would just, if you can just, you know, somehow look out for your child. Like, I would honestly really appreciate that. And again, I understand what she was saying. You know, most guys don't have those morals, those values, and, you know, those standards or whatever. Most of those guys may not have those things. But why not try to go that route first? Remain in your doggone femininity and try to go the ladylike route out instead of doing the things that she was doing. I don't know. It kind of goes back to what she was saying earlier about, you know, she wanted to be that type of woman where she's just with one guy, all this, that, and the third. But her post on Facebook, on Instagram and all that other stuff said different. Because me personally, if you walking around, you got the titties out, your ass out, and all the other stuff, I don't look at you as a chick that I honestly value. Name one guy out there that will honestly want to wife up a chick that got her titties out and her ass out on social media. And again, a guy of value, a guy that pretty much every woman wants, or even, you know, a average guy. When you think about those type of people, man, I cannot see anybody that would even think about wifing up or being committed to a chick that's like that. That's just my personal opinion. Anywho, man, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here. We actually went over big time, man. I got a lot of stuff that I gotta knock out. Y'all, we are still doing this 120 challenge, man. We still out here getting it. We still grinding. We still putting in the work. We're still working out each and every day. I want everybody to become the best version of themselves. Spend 30 minutes to an hour each and every day doing something that's gonna help benefit you, all right, which is your health. You need to focus on your health. It's all cool to go out here, work these 9-to-5 jobs, working for the man, working for somebody else. That's cool. But not at the end of the day, but at the beginning of the day, you honestly need to be waking up and thinking about yourself. What am I going to do that's going to help benefit my health? All right. You can go walking, you can stretch, you know, start drinking more water, you know, start eating a little bit healthier than raw fruits, raw vegetables or whatever, man. Start putting that stuff into your diet, man. All right, it's all good to have these conversations and everything, but at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day, I want to make sure that I'm putting that message out there that I honestly want you guys to focus on your health. Focus on you. That's important, man. Before you change anything about yourself, or before you change anything, you honestly need to be looking at what's important. All right, you are at the front line of that doggone thing. All right, You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You need to make sure that you put that doggone mask over your face first. You need to take care of you first. Because if you don't, nobody else will. All right? Remember, guys, focus on their health. Anyway, y'all be blessed. Y'all be beautiful, man. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right? I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll try to knock out part 3, hopefully tomorrow. All right? Peace.